Let's get straight into it. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to use the horror template Unreal has to offer, but you can use this system in any first-person character. You can get the horror template by going to first person and changing the variant type to survival horror. I'm going to change some things before advancing, which I recommend you follow if you use the template too. We have some problems here. Also, this stamina bar just doesn't fit in a horror game. I will be using a docked content browser. If you want to have it like me, just click on Content Browser and then dock in Layout. Open the horror character blueprint. As you can see, there's two character meshes in our blueprint. One is used for shadows, meaning it's invisible to the player. The other is what the player actually sees. This one has the shadows disabled because, well, look at it. To make sure you can't see inside the character, you have to drag out the camera a little. Problem solved. Then, to get rid of the stamina bar, open the player controller. Find Event on Pauses and disconnect the pin. With that, we're ready to go. The horror character already has a light attached, delete that. Then click on Camera and Add. Search for Spotlight. Name it Flashlight. For a more realistic flashlight, I suggest opening Fab and downloading this asset. In the horror character, click on Flashlight and search IES. From my experience, Capt 2 is the best one, but you can play around, see which one fits your project best. Also, make sure to scroll down until you find Volumetric Scattering Intensity and set it to 0 for now. We will come back to it later. You can also just not use an IES, but that doesn't look so good. To make the flashlight feel better, click on Camera, Add, and search for Spring Arm. Make sure set target arm length to 0 and to drag flashlight onto the spring arm. Drag it out a little. Click on Spring Arm, disable Collision Test, and then scroll down. Enable Camera Rotation Lag. The higher the value, the shorter the delay. Now, for the next effect I'm about to show you to work, you need to have scalability set to high, and your scene needs to have a volumetric fog. If you're using the horror template, you don't have to do anything, but if you're not, here's how you can do it. Click here, search for fog, and left-click. Scroll down until you find the volumetric fog setting and enable it. You're done. You can see the difference it makes. Go into your character, click on Flashlight, and scroll down to Volumetric Scattering Intensity. You can experiment with this value, but I find 0.2 a pretty good value. As you can see, this makes the flashlight effect look much better. If you prefer the non-volumetric way, just set the value back to 0. However, I'm gonna keep it on. Additionally, you can set colors to your flashlight. Also, for a more realistic flashlight, you can play around with the temperature. The lower the value, the warmer the color. I find 8000 fitting for the horror template, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Now our flashlight looks good. Let's make it function. Go to Input folder, Actions, and duplicate any of these. Name it Flashlight. Go back to Inputs and click on this. Click on plus icon and select Flashlight here. Assign a key by clicking on the keyboard icon and then pressing the key you want to use for flashlight. In my case, it's F. Go back to your character, Event Graph, and find an empty space. Right-click and search for your flashlight. Next, drag out from Start and search for Flip-Flop. Now click on your flashlight, drag in into the Event Graph, and then drag out Set Visibility. Connect it to both ends of Flip-Flop. Connect is A to New Visibility. For the system to work properly, click on Flashlight, search for Visible, and disable it. You're done. Additionally, you can add some sounds for turning off and on. I will include a link in the description for a free-to-use sound I used. Voila!